Domination rituals are really fun to do. You can learn to self dominate or dominate others, which is what I'm going to show you with this candle. First and foremost, we must cleanse our candles, the candles that we're going to use, the items that we're going to use as well. I'm going to use this candle. It's called Bend Over. It's very similar to our purple domination candles. This spell, no matter what, it's going to be considered domination. Some people say, oh, it's different because the name's different. It's essentially the same thing. So you can either use purified, clean drinking water to cleanse. I would also use either a Florida water if I was in a pinch, but I really love using rue water, salt, and vinegar. You only need a very small amount of each. You don't need to go overboard. So with the salt, I would throw it in counterclockwise, um, and just put a splash of the rue and draw an X with the vinegar like you saw me do before. And that's pretty much it. Then you bless and activate the water to cleanse the candles and the other items that you're going to use. So, you know, to cleanse the candle, you literally just dip it in the water and you say this candle is cleansed for the new ritual it's going to be used for. Other people touch candles in the stores in the botanicas, and you don't know what kind of intentions that they can put into those candles. Sometimes it's unintentional. Some people just want to watch the world burn, so just be careful. Again, you with your crystals, cleanse them as well. Anything else you're going to use that is, kind of hard and easy to clean, something that absorbs energy very quickly, you're going to want to cleanse them, like your plates or your aluminum foil. With the aluminum foil, you could just dab it with a little bit of paper towel. Of course, as I take the water away, I forgot to cleanse my mortar and pestle. It's very important to clean your mortar and pestle. Make sure it's extremely dry as well, because if there's any water left inside of it, it could muddy up anything that you put in there, or it could, melt the salts or anything else like the resins that you're going to use. So just make sure it's nice and clean. And remember, when you're cleaning, you clean it counterclockwise. Make sure to rid it of any energy that was in there before, because you don't want to disrupt this ritual with any previous energy. So now that it's clean and dry, you fill it with salt a little bit. And then we're going to add some oils. These are very highly infused oils, with the roots and herbs with the associated spell. So this one's Rope Conjuros. This one I'm going to use specifically to cleanse any influence that anybody else has over the target. So I want to be the only one that has domination and power influence over that target. Then we're going to put domination oil, of course. Then I'm going to add Dama de la Noche for myself and irresistible oil. So this is the combination that I like to use. Of course, you can put herbs, but I don't really feel like it's necessary. And then you don't mix this with your hands. You have to mix it with something else. I like to use this broken spoon. This spoon's actually older than I am. It belonged to my mom, and she used to, fry tortillas with it. But anyways, like I said, you don't really need to put roots and herbs in there. The oils are already fully infused with all of these. Unless you want to, you can. But like I said, these oils are very potent. You really don't need to. So you're good. So let's see. It's not fully incorporated, so we're gonna just do that. Finish it up real quick. And then once it's done, you're going to dump it into that plate or over your aluminum foil. Make sure that it's dry. I forgot a little spot of water right here, so I'm going to clean that with a piece of paper towel. And then with the pads of your fingers, you're going to create a salt circle. Just watch how I do it. And then move the salt around so that you don't have any thin spots. And then you'll have like a nice fully even salt circle. Make it big enough so that you could set your candle right in the middle of it. Whichever candle you're using. Again, we're using this one. This one's too pretty, and it's already for another client, so I didn't want to use it for this one. So What are we going to do next? Oh, we need to poke holes into this candle itself. We also need to, write any sigils or petitions on the candle itself, or you could write a paper petition. Either way, it's going to work out for you. Oh my gosh. Um, but to poke the holes, we do this, to put the oils. You could even stuff your petitions in there. I don't recommend it because it could become a fire hazard for you. But we're going to put the oils that we use for the salts into the candle itself. You only need a few drops. You don't need to go overboard with this. I also want to put domination on the rim of the candle because I want to dominate everything all of the time. And then for just a few drops of the rest. Irresistible is last, I believe. And then at this point, oh yeah, you can cover it with herbs and glitter and all these other things if you want to. I highly recommend for newbies, just put it on the inside of the candle. The outside is for people that have been working with this forever. The reason why I say that is because it could pose like I said, a fire risk. These veladoras are known to sometimes explode on people if they are overloaded, so just be careful. So let's see. Oh yeah, the wick. I highly recommend you shorten the wick. Our wick here was way too long, so I just cut it down to a decent size. And then, like I said, if you wrote your petition on the candle itself, you're all good. You could light it. You can light it with either oh yeah, before you light it, you must bless and charge it with your energy. I bless and activate this candle to dominate so and so, blah 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 blah. And so it is. And then you put your crystals that you want to. I put carnelian and tiger's eye. So again, you can light it with a torch or a lighter. You could light it with those wooden candles or the wooden matches or the long matches. I usually like to do just with the torch, especially if I have nails, because they tend to melt my nails if I use the stick ones. And then that's pretty much it. Now, if you didn't write your petition on the candle and you wanted to do it on paper, I'll show you how to do it on paper. So I always recommend you use this brown paper bag type of material. I have an entire roll of it and we bought it for like less than $5. And then I suggest using dragon's blood ink. There is dove's blood and bat's blood as well. Those have the different uses, but I really want it for power. So I'm going to create an ink for power and domination. So we're going to take a few milliliters of the dragon's blood and place it in this beaker. Our dragon's blood, I bought this one at a botanica somewhere. Or was it? Yeah, it was a botanica. And I asked if there's actual dragon's blood in it, and she's like, "Oh, honey, I don't know." And I was like, "Okay." So I ordered some dragon's blood resin and just put it in that bottle. Like I crushed it up and put it in the bottle. So, always check things for yourself, and if you're not sure, just add a little bit to it. So I also added a few drops of domination oil, and then I added like a few milliliters of very high proof alcohol, so that when it evaporates, it just leaves behind the ink and the oil. So with this petition, I want the energy to be domination and power. So just for demonstration purposes, I used aliases for like my husband's name and myself. And the energy that I put forth for this ritual, even though it's a demonstration, it could still send the signals out. So it was basically I want to dominate him in the sense that I want to be a spoiled brat all the time and I just want him to take care of me. I don't want to have to ask for anything. He just knows what to do. And generally, this is just how our relationship is. He is a very strong, sweet, kind man to me anyway. But, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't do anything drastic for this particular domination demonstration. So even though it's just a demonstration, I'm still using the real products and the energy is still out there. So I'm not trying to like completely dominate my husband. He really doesn't need it. but it's just a refresher, you know what I mean? He's probably gonna watch this like, damn, what the fuck? But you always close off your petitions with a period. At least for me, it works out so much better like that. And then, of course, we're going to cover this ink because it's going to last us a really, really long time. And I just cover it with another glass bottle so it doesn't evaporate. And then we're going to fold this petition towards ourselves. So I'm going to fold towards me, turn it around towards me, turn it around towards me, because I want this energy to work for my benefit. And then let's pretend the candle isn't lit here. So you would want to tie this petition or put it underneath the candle, but that kind of makes me nervous sometimes, especially when the petition's that big, because it can make the candle uneven. So you can tie the petition to the outside of the candle. I have this very special twine that I have in this very special cup, and it's been soaking in these beautiful jazz. What is it? Jasmine. Uh, I don't remember the the Italian or the Latin name, but it's a very special kind of jasmine. It's very, very fragrant, and the twine smells like it, so it's very beautiful and very attractive. So I like to tie the petitions on the outside of the candle like that. Then I bless and activate this candle so that I can dominate blah 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 blah. And so it is, and that's it. And there you go. And you always keep an eye on your candle. You snuff it out before you go to bed, and you can restart it the next morning if you want to. Oh, and clean up after yourself.